Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. So in this video I'm going to plan with you for June, and as you can see my theme for this month is going to be Gossip Girl, and I have to admit I was so obsessed with this series and I just love it. So I've never seen anyone doing a Gossip Girl themed bullet journal month, so here we are, and I really hope you enjoy this, and if you like it then please leave some feedback, or if you didn't, leave some feedback too. I really appreciate that. So let's start right away, shall we? So for my cover page I wanted it to look more like the website of Gossip Girl, so where they can send their tips in, etc. So as you can see, this is what the website looks like, and I just wanted to have this gigantic New York skyline with some golden lettering going on, so that it looks very much like the website, as I said. You can also see the New York skyline in the intro of Gossip Girl, and it's actually a little bit blurred, so you don't really see buildings, but this is like my version of that I wanted to draw, so yeah. And of course I wanted to have this black night background, but I wanted to let my buildings pop a little more, so I wanted to make that like with the light, like light pollution, etc., so that it looks like the buildings have their light around them, so they pop more out of the page, I guess. I hope you know what I mean, and I hope that I achieve what I wanted to achieve. So I just took a gray pen, several gray pens and a black pen, and then tried to blend the tones into each other so that it looks more blended. And of course I also added the golden lettering that is so typical for Gossip Girl, but actually I was done with this page, so there was like my finished product was this page as you see it right now. As you may have guessed, I just didn't like that at all. I just thought the whole page looked so empty and just, I don't know, not pretty, and so I just painted the whole page in black, and just under the skyline I added a blog post of Gossip Girl. So yeah, I basically painted my whole page in black, and that was a little bit dumb, I think, because I could have done that so much better just adding black paper, but you know, sometimes when you draw and do art, then it just comes with the flow what you're actually doing. So that was what happened with me, and I still like the outcome even though the black isn't perfect. And as you can see, I also added Gossip Girl above, so just that it was clearer what it was supposed to look like. I also added like some distant buildings with these golden dots, more like in the Gossip Girl beginning. And I also just thought maybe I should just paint the buildings now in gray and also add more of this light that I talked about before. And then of course I added a picture of Queen Bee and just made a little like Gossip Girl post about this picture. I just think that this cover page turned out kind of cute, and I have to say I really like how it turned out. Like in the end, my first attempt I didn't like it that much, but this one I like a lot. And now we're coming to my two overview pages for the month, and this time I was smarter, because this time I took some black paper and actually sticked it into my bullet journal, and that was just much easier. And to do my little monthly calendar, I just took some white paper and like sketched roughly the calendar on it, so everything looks on this page like little blog posts on the website. And again I lettered in gold, and this time I wanted to have this dotted lettering, but my pen is a little bit old and it was just making these weird dots, as you can see. I'm going to fix that later in the video, you will see that, but this is, yeah, here, see it here, right here, and that was just not cute. But I also added a little like kissing mouth, and I also added the xoxo again, and like I just wrote something small underneath the calendar, so just that it looks more like a blog post. I again added some space for goals and to buy because I had to add a to buy list because we're talking about Gossip Girl, and if something is just necessary for this month it is a to buy list, so I had to include that even though I never really had one in my bullet journal, but here we go. Also, if you haven't noticed, I always stick with the colors that Gossip Girl uses on the page. So she just uses like some yellow or goldish colors, some blue and some red to have like her headers for her website, as you can see right here again. But all of this wouldn't be a true Gossip Girl page if there wasn't a quote by Gossip Girl. So here you can see lettering me the quote. Sometimes you need to step outside, get some air, and remind yourself of who you are and who you want to be. And I just love this quote so much of this series, and because my bullet journal is always supposed to motivate me and inspire me, I just love this quote. And also I love the lettering. So this lettering wasn't my idea, I just found it like that on Pinterest. By the way, I used for this whole month a Pinterest mood board where I just collected all my ideas, and in the end, I was full of ideas and I was so hyped to do this month, and I still am. Now you're maybe wondering, what is she doing there with these squares? So this is my habit tracker for the month. So I'm going to track like 4 habits, and I just have these like, again, like small calendars where I can just fill in the specific day for the habit. And I think you know the deal with habit trackers, that's nothing new. But because I still had the feeling that the page was a little empty and not so much like Gossip Girl, I wanted to add some decorations, and I wanted to make her background, so these blurred New York skyline with these dots so that it looks like windows from wide away. And I have to say, I really love how that turned out because I think that this made the whole Gossip Girl theme more Gossip Girlish. I don't even know what to say. I hope you understand what I mean, but I think this page turned out a lot better because I did that. And I also added some like white writing underneath like to buy, so just that makes the page more look like there's some blog posts. So I guess you get what I mean, and here you can see the finished page and I love it. I just like how it turned out, and I think it does look a lot like the Gossip Girl website, so I am pretty proud. Now let's come to the weekly pages. You didn't thought I would just everything do like the Gossip Girl website, did you? Because I had the idea that I would do 4 weeks for this month, and every week would be a different Gossip Girl character. So for the first week, of course, we have our beloved Queen Bee. And for the other weeks, it would be Serena, Chuck, and Nate, because for me these are the 4 main characters, and yeah, I have a lot of ideas what I could include. At this point, here's a question for y'all. Should I do like small YouTube videos about these plan with me's like for the week for Serena, Nate, and Chuck, or should I just like post them on Instagram, on IGTV, or just like small videos? What would you prefer? And by the way, this is my Instagram. But now back to the planning. So first of all, as you might have seen, I cut one page into half so that I would have like a bigger weekly spread, because I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like Blair Waldorf is like this super planner type, and I don't know, I think if I would look into a Blair Waldorf planner, then she would have so much space to plan like what she's doing and stuff. So I thought that Blair would need this extra space. For her spread, I chose the color pink, or more like light pink, and as you can see, I also added a doodle of a peony because Blair's favorite flowers are peonies. I also added the quote of Blair, which is, "Once men have tasted caviar, it bothers me how they can settle for catfish," and I just think that is a Blair classic. For the lettering, I just chose 2 different shades of pink, and just by layering the pen again and again over, it just gets like this blended effect so that it gets from darker to lighter, and then I just drew with a black pen around it, and I think this looks really pretty. Then I just added a little space for goals, because what would be a BLAIR Waldorf weekly spread without some goals? And again, a quote from her, and underneath that, a study tracker. And you can also see me mess up several times, but I still think it turned out okay in the end, and I still like the page. But this is the thing about bullet journaling: you're a human, you make mistakes, but you can always think about a way how you can get rid of these mistakes. And then I wanted to add more art into this spread, and so I drew some macarons with the Eiffel Tower. So BLAIR loves these and is just crazy about them, and she also loves Paris, so I thought they would be perfect. And I especially love the simplicity of this drawing, actually, because I didn't sketch anything out or so, and I just did it really roughly and sketchy, and I really like how it turned out in the end, so I think it is really pretty. And after I just drew everything, I just colored it in with some pastel colors that I think just look so cute, and it just is something that BLAIR would have, I think, in a planner. It just is perfect for her. So that's it for the video. I really hope you liked it. I like how everything turned out. You can of course tell me your opinions down in the comments below, and also tell me which is your favorite Gossip Girl character. That would be interesting. And yeah, I hope to see you the next time, so bye!